Welcome back. I was going to start with something else, but then kind of forgot that, yeah.
Sorry. I distracted Brad, I think is what he's trying to say.
You did. But today's show is brought to you by Microsoft 365. In the modern workplace, you can find links down below to learn more about all those apps and how they can increase your workplace productivity, while Paul and I try to make your productivity less.
Right. Doing everything we can to undermine your productivity since 2015.
Yep. Try using your mouse left-handed today. See how that works out for you.
I've been watching a lot of old NBA videos on YouTube because, coronavirus. And actually, to be fair, I do that anyway. But Michael Jordan stuff, lots of stuff. I watched a bunch of videos about the Pistons during the years they won and tried to win championships. A bunch of Larry Bird stuff. I love the Celtics, obviously. And there's a great story about Larry Bird where they're on the final game of a long road trip in the 85-86 season where they won the championship. Inarguably one of the best teams of all time. And at the final game, I don't know if it was Portland or wherever, but Larry Bird tells his teammates that he's tired of playing and he's going to just shoot left-handed. So he scored every basket with his left hand. He had 28 points. Left-handed. Oh my God, we should all be so talented. Anywho, what's going on today? Sorry.
Couple things in the Microsoft world. One, there's a vulnerability that's floating around that Microsoft's saying is actively being exploited, impacting Windows 10. So,
people doing bad is bad enough. People doing bad in times like this is unbelievable. Like every morning, I get up and I look at the comments on the site, and there are two major groups of miscreants that I have to deal with. The biggest one, of course, is just the spammers, and I'm not. I don't mean this in kind of a racist way, but they're very clearly always from Pakistan, India, that part of the world, just based on their email addresses and their weird pictures that they post sometimes for their profile pic. But and I think the time change is how it happens because it happens overnight almost always. And it's like, guys, aren't there things going on in the world you could be doing like instead of this? This is your day. You're going to my site and the other sites and just it's terrible. And so anyway, this is hackers. Like there are obviously big phishing schemes going on right now. People taking advantage of people because of the coronavirus, and it's like, geez, this is, I don't know. You're just undermining the entire human race when you do stuff like this. It's too bad.
Yeah. No honor among pirates, or what is it? Something like that.
Yeah, thieves,
something like that.
Sure. That's what I always say. So just another random non-tech story. Then my wife and I watch movies or TV shows, and I will pause it and I do this a lot. Like for this specific scenario, I'll pause the thing and I'll say, "This is what's wrong with bad guys. They can't trust each other, right?" This is always the thing. Like if you watch it doesn't matter, Narcos or like Better Call Saul. Or any movie where there's a group of bad guys, that group can never trust each other. It's like you have, like, these guys go all in on some bank robbery thing, and one of them's going to try to screw the other ones over, and it's all, that's how it falls apart. You never trust bad guys.
Yeah.
I know it sounds obvious, but even bad guys can't trust bad guys. I think that's the point.
Anyways, Microsoft also canceled Inspire.
Okay,
which is that's in July. That's the one we're no longer invited to anymore.
That's right.
So that one's now canceled.
I'm going to make the bold prediction today that Ignite inevitably will be canceled.
Oof.
And the reason I say that is it doesn't matter what happens with coronavirus.
Yeah.
They have to cancel it. It's their biggest show. What is it, like 37,000 people, something like that show up? There is no way we can get that many people together in one place in September. There's just no way.
Well, I was thinking of it from a different perspective. Is you can go buy the tickets. You can go buy the tickets right now to Ignite. And what company is telling their employee to go buy Ignite tickets right now at a couple $1,000?
Okay, sorry. That's the other half, of course. And a huge contingent, and we have no way of knowing what the numbers are, but you have to think 50% more, I don't know, are coming from international locations. Yeah, I mean, who is in Denmark or the Netherlands or Asia or whatever today saying, "Hey, Bob, I have an idea. You should fly to the United States in September and join tens of thousands of other people in a single location." And no one's saying that conversation is not occurring.
Well, I would even have just issues, just like going on vacation. Now we are.
Oh yeah.
The interesting thing is we do have an actual vacation planned for like end of May. Now we're not flying, we're driving. Still don't know if that's going to be.
It may not be possible because
Dude, if I miss out on
Florida?
we go to the beach every year, and if I don't get to go to the beach every year, there's going to be a beach party at in my basement. It's going to be called me and a drunken
Buy
sailor.
some sand, get a fake palm tree, you project a picture of the water lapping against the sand. Yeah.
On my nice OLED TV. It'll look so real. I'll just have my daughter fanning me with like a leaf.
Yeah. So unfortunately, by the time May comes around, it's very likely that most or all states, I think, country, whatever, will have like a complete lockdown thing going on, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Brad, I hope you can go on this vacation. I really do. I just, and I always say this. It's like you say this about health things, like when you're young and healthy and everything is going right, you can never hurt yourself. You've never been in the hospital, broken anything, whatever it is. You don't have an understanding of the compromises you're going to make later in life. So, for example, like you can walk around, you're healthy and everything. You can walk, you're great, and then like one day something happens, like you have arthritis, or you hurt a knee or something, and you can't walk, and then you start compromising, and you're like, all I want to be able to do is walk down to the mailbox to get the mail. I just want to be able to do that. Could I just do that? And I think this coronavirus is like that. It's like you have all these ideals about things that are important to you in life and goals and whatever. And now you're like, I just want to be able to go to a restaurant every once in a while.
Yep.
I just, but dude, we are 10 days into this. 10. And I'm not saying the world is unraveling around me or anything like that, but I mean, that's how sissified we are this is not, the impact to me personally so far has been, well, other than I do know one guy who is really sick actually, I don't get to go to the restaurant.
Right.
It's not really a big deal. Cabin fever is like a thing that I don't fully understand yet, but we will, we will.
I suspect in your house, it's that the tipping point will be a thing called bandwidth, where you're trying to do something and both your kids are just downloading 8K videos.
Well, it's happening right now. So my son is actually not here, thank God, and I don't mean it like that. I mean, from an internet perspective,
Yeah.
right? So the thank God bit is where he is, he can be isolated. His school is technical, so they have remote classes started up there. He's already back in school, if you can believe that. That's actually pretty rare. And he's not sucking at my bandwidth, because I can tell you something, that guy, that man now, when we're on home swaps or when he's home, you can, and then the usage, like you can see it in like, can we share your phone connection? Yeah, sure. And then like I have this little connect, shows you like how much usage every day. And then Mark's there and it goes, it like explodes by like 12, Yeah. So the only reason this operation is able to proceed is because he's not here, because we would be having serious words about his usage otherwise. Anyway, yeah.
Apple also finally enabled universal app purchases for iPhone and Mac. This seems like a long time coming.
Oh, right.
It's more of one of the things like that didn't exist, but here we are.
Universal app purchases. That's interesting. So not necessarily the same code, but you buy the app and you get the app on the other platform. Is that what that is?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're about it's like that wasn't a thing. So
yeah. It's a good idea. I'm surprised no one else ever tried that.
Yeah, and maybe they could call it some like universal app platform.
Yeah, call it universal something. That would be smart.
Universal Apple.
Apple platform. Universal Apple platform. Oh boy. Yeah.
So there you go. That's kind of the big things for the day, right? It's I keep checking our one of the we got asked about this a bunch, because one of the reasons we stopped using Teams last time because it was Skype Federation, which that feature is now enabled, but I keep checking our Office 365 tenant and it's not working yet. I actually worked with Tony Redmond to try to figure it out. Here's a fun little issue that we cropped up with. So when I created my Skype account, God knows how long ago, 8-10 years ago, I think it was even before Outlook.com launched, I used the email address bdsams@gmail.com. That was my Skype. Okay. That's what I registered with.
You're right. Yeah. And it was just before it was a Microsoft thing, or was it?
It might even been before it was a Microsoft thing, but that was how I logged in. And then I eventually migrated it to brad@outlook.com, which is my MSA account.
Yeah.
So when I was working with Tony, yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. We were trying to, he has the ability to see Skype Federation in his tenant because he's on the technical access preview. We're on the peasant ring.
So I'm curious now if I can get this on my own.
Well, probably not. But here's the long, short story of it.
No. I mean, I have a separate Office 365 business account. I mean, I'm wondering now.
You also got about 6 pixels. Whatever you opened up just sucked down enough to whatever. Anyway, so the long story here.
So I will look later.
Is he could search Skype contacts, but he could not find me. He could find me, though, when he searched bdsams@gmail.com, but not brad@outlook.com.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, so noodle on that one for a little bit. Noodle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's he actually ended up writing it up a little bit because it's almost like the brad@outlook.com is more like a vanity thing, but like my core account is still tied to whatever I originally signed up with. So,
I mean, this may be why it took so long.
Maybe, or I still think it's probably still part of this consumer Microsoft 365 thing that's coming, whatever, next week.
Okay.
So, anyways, you got anything else for today, Paul?
I'm going to post a laptop review. It's the last laptop I was able to use before I could while I could still travel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've already completely documented all of that application thing I'm doing. I just have to write it up. So I meant to post part of that yesterday. I'll do that today. I probably have 3 more parts to go and it will be done. So
great.
Yeah.
Well, folks, that wraps it up for today. And today's show is brought to you by Microsoft 365. That modern desktop, modern workplace stuff. It's legit, and we've got a lot more coming. Have yourselves a wonderful Tuesday. Yeah, it is Tuesday, isn't it? Might as well be June for all that I know.